All right.
Yo.
You good? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. What's up, world?
Welcome to another episode of Falling Flat. I'm your host, AJ. And today I have
Aaron. Otherwise
again.
known as BZI. A little busy.
Yeah.
A little busy.
And we got a little topical episode today.
Oh, is this the first? This is not the first of topical episodes.
No.
Technical? Okay, yeah, because the last one you had was with Emmy.
Yes.
You guys talk. What did you talk? Red flags?
Yes, red flags.
Damn, I kind of wish you should have more people on when you do episodes
Eventually.
like that.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
No, yeah. Today's topic is so about 2 years ago, we went to Korea.
2023.
Summer 23.
Great time. Fantastic time.
Went over to Korea, and there's a lot to talk about. There are things we liked,
Pros,
did not
cons. Pros, cons.
and I guess let's talk about that.
Dang.
So, yeah, not to piss people off, but hey, we've been there for like 6 weeks, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good trip. So I guess the background of it, so people have a little bit of backstory. The reason we went to South Korea was Mar, my sister. Maybe you guys will get a chance to meet her. Who knows? She's not the talkative type, so she might not be on the podcast, but who knows? Maybe on a group thing she might. But she was always the person to be into South Korean culture. She watched a lot of K-dramas as she was growing. She definitely introduced by friends, but she was like into the niche on her own. Like before it became popular, like everyone listening to K-pop and the K-pop influence on American music now, and vice versa. But she was into that stuff, and then by proxy, I was into K-pop as well. Like I forgot the year. I would say like 2012. Just knowing groups like SHINee and Girls' Generation, and just being able to vibe with the music with her, just gave me a little bit of a love for that Korean culture. And so, like, she always had an interest in it. And then it would be like years after years, she would talk about wanting to go to South Korea. And then finally, it was 2022, and we were like, yo, let's just fucking go. Like, let's actually go. And considering like COVID had already been passed, like we were eyeing we were eyeing whether the countries were opening up. And then once we found out like for sure Korea was open up to the public again, we were like, all right, now's the time, let's go. We all have funds, at least me and Mar had funds, and we were like, okay, let's make this plan. And then we opened that plan up to you, and then the rest was history. It was a slow roll. We were supposed to get the plane tickets. I think the first time we looked at plane tickets was December.
It was December, January.
Yeah, really early.
Which is like 6 or 7 months prior to the trip.
Yeah, and then we waited till like March.
So like, it was 3 months left until...
Yeah, and the price was at least like $1,000
Like double,
for the plane tickets. So
yeah,
always get your plane ticket early. International flights, if you guys can plan ahead, do that shit for sure. Don't wait. But yeah, I mean the whole trip itself, like obviously you have your experience, we all have our separate experiences, but I think the entire 6-week trip was just a really fun experience to just like give a general statement to it. It was 6 weeks. We ended up going to 3 different segments of the country. We started in Busan, the south, almost furthest point south
Korea.
The country, South Korea. We spent the week there. Then we spent 4 weeks in Incheon, which was
more central,
which was crazy. Just basically a living experience for us. And then we ended it with 1 week in Seoul. But in the, what is that, the capital?
Yeah, it's the capital
of the country. Capital city of the country.
In between a living in Incheon, we also went to Jeju.
Jeju Island.
For a few days.
Yes, which was a good time.
Yeah,
that was a impromptu decision. We were like, well, Mar was the one that was like, oh, let's go to Jeju, because she had it on her list. But before we did the trip, like we didn't really look into Jeju Island like that. And so we were just sitting in Incheon like, oh, hey, let's like do something else. And then I think I remember I was looking into the flights. I was like, oh yeah, that's just pretty cheap.
Stupid cheap.
Like, let's just go. Let's just go. And they're like, all right, let's spend a couple days in Jeju. And we booked an Airbnb, and it was great. Like a little vacation inside the vacation. It was a really good time. But Yeah, I mean, once you just prompted like this pros and cons thing,
Yeah.
I actually totally forgot the top con, and we can just jump into it.
Well, overall, it was a pretty good positive trip.
Positive trip,
Very
yes,
good.
of course.
But there are also things we didn't like.
The main con is not even talking about the country itself yet. It's just living with friends and family. So that was like my personal first experience cohabitating with other people. Because I cohabitate, like living together.
Cohabiting?
Yeah.
Cohabitating?
It serves the same purpose.
All right, whatever.
Cohabitate, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyways. So because when I went to college, I didn't dorm.
Yeah.
I was a commuter, so I didn't really have the experience living with other people and just like putting different personality types together in one small setting. And I think what made it kind of worse with South Korea is like the housing situation were always small. Like it wasn't, we had one spot when we were in Incheon where it was like actually felt like a real apartment, but the spot that we were in Busan, and then the spot that we were in Seoul, both of those were like really tight, really tiny apartments. So the three of us kind of cooped into that smaller space. It was kind of not necessarily a recipe for disaster, but we didn't plan ahead for butting heads, essentially. Yeah, so we just had we had our differences, and the first one kind of came in like pretty early. It was like 5 days into the trip, and we were already kind of annoyed, like almost at each other's necks. And then I think the good thing we learned, or not learned, but the good thing about that specific situation was that because we were like at odds with each other, that kind of forced us to like not spend so much time at home, just immediately branch out. Because I know you were just going out after that. You were spending a lot less time at home.
After our time in Busan, because I always left plans to you. I didn't know how to like take the transportation, like train, buses, and whatnot. So kind of left that to you, and then leaving Busan and going to Incheon, I wanted to figure it out. So that's what I did.
Okay. Did you felt like you got the hang of the transportation system in Incheon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was super easy.
Word. Yeah. So as a pivot, like one of the best transportation systems like I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Like so simple. I forgot what app we used. Was it Naver Maps? Just using Naver Maps and just being able to see the bus schedule, see all the different buses that are gonna go to the stops, the accurate times of the buses. It was so simple.
So we'll do one good thing, one bad thing. So
Let's do it.
Yes, I guess we'll pick to go into that. Probably one of the best things, that public transportation. Stupid cheap.
Yes.
Usually on time. And just easy to use.
Yeah, and then I think the best part about the transportation system is that when you swiped out of a bus and you transition to the next bus, it would still count. Yeah. So you could take as many buses as you want within a day.
The T-Money
and it's
card.
the T-Money. Yes.
that
Oh my
shit,
gosh, loading the T-Money card, super simple. Oh my god. But we did struggle. Remember, we did struggle to get the T-Money card in the first place. Like getting out of the airport. Yeah. So I guess we totally skipped that. We're not skipping. We're gonna be jumping around. That's what we do, guys. That's what I do. So as long as I'm on this podcast, guys, just know we're gonna have tangents. We're gonna be jumping. I'm sorry.
That's why it's my job to keep you on track.
Yeah, you got it. As
Well, who knows if I will.
That's okay.
Anyways,
They'll learn our style. So
first, I guess we'll start from the flight itself.
Sure.
We took a flight from JFK.
From JFK. Yep.
And then we went to Seattle. And that
connecting flight to Seattle.
connecting flight to Seattle. And that first plane was what was it, Delta?
I don't remember the specifics of that.
I don't remember.
Plane. Yeah.
But and then from Seattle to South Korea, that was Korean Air.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
Which is different. Yeah, completely.
Wow.
different airplane setup. Yeah. Because what was it like if? As far as I remember, it was like 3 seats. Yeah. So we had 3 rows. We had right side, middle, left side on the plane, and then each of them had 3 seats on each side. Plenty of space for the hostess, for what are they called again? The ladies that work on the, thank you, for the flight attendants, thank you. Plenty of room for the flight attendants to move back and forth. Because it was an international flight, they fed us real meals. And
actual Korean
I guess
meals.
that was our
first exposure.
Introduction to, well, other than like eating stuff.
But like
in New Jersey. But yeah, I guess like first exposure to Korean food, because it's a Korean airline.
Yeah. And all the staff were Korean.
Yeah,
so.
everyone was so nice.
And,
it was like, it was a good preparation because it was like, all the service was really good. All the flight attendants were super nice. They spoke, as far as I remember, they spoke English.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so it was a really nice transition to the country itself.
Flight was long as shit though.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I want to say I stayed awake for half of the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how long the flight to Seattle was? It wouldn't have had to be that long.
4 hours, I think.
Okay, 4, and then we were left with like 10 from
8 to 9 hours from Seattle to
Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I wouldn't remember that I slept for half of that. Yeah. I tried to play my Switch, didn't happen. I had books to read, didn't happen. Yeah.
Same way. I brought my Switch. I played for a little bit, and then I was just like, nah, I don't want to.
It's okay.
All I was thinking is I just want to get off this plane.
Yeah, and so getting off the plane, I was super stressed out. I remember because, like, basically the minute we get off the plane, it's like, hey, we need to know where we're going because it's a brand new country. We don't know the language. We don't know what the airport looks like. And like, I did research on the airport I laid out the things that we needed to do. Like, hey, we need to go get the T-Money card. We need to take this transportation. Like, what was it? Like a fast rail, something like that.
Yeah.
So we knew what we needed to get. We knew where we needed to go, but I couldn't check anything because I had no data.
Yeah.
I remember when you had put your SIM card.
Oh yeah, we did get Korean SIM cards prior to the trip.
Exactly. So you were ready with your SIM card. You plugged it in, no problem. Mar had her SIM card. She plugged it in, no problem. I'm sitting there with my SIM card. My internet doesn't connect, and I'm just like, well, I'm not leaving until we get this, until this gets settled, because once the minute we left the airport, like, things would just be more difficult. And I think the issue with that, like, it would have been fine with you and Mar having data, but I was the one that had done the research on the navigation. So sadly, I at least for me, I felt like I was still leading the charge. As the oldest person in our group, I felt like I was leading the charge in terms of, hey, arriving in South Korea and figuring out how we're gonna get to the Airbnb without being stressed out. So it was just something I was like, hey, I can't leave until we get this data settled. But the airport itself was so nice. I remember just getting in, everything so calm, so clean, so organized. We had like 2 main rooms that we had to go through. It was like customs check. They checked our passports and such. And then there was one more room after that. I want to say we filled out a paper form.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But we did have like 2 checkpoints when we got in there.
It was super easy.
And it was, super straightforward. So another pro definitely is just getting into the country, just being able to feel welcomed into South Korea. It wasn't like busy and populated. Like, oh my gosh, when we got back from the whole trip and just seeing that difference between South Korea airline and then New York airports, I was like, man, this is trash. Oh my God, so stressful being back in New York. But that was not the situation for the South Korean airports. Super smooth experience. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
The worst part of that day from going to Incheon Airport to Busan was the fact that on my luggage, one of the wheels broke.
Oh yeah, it broke after the flight, right? Yeah.
I was like...
And you had that luggage before, right? It wasn't a brand new...
It wasn't brand new.
It was the yellow one.
It was bought at Shoppers World.
Yeah, Shoppers World. Shoppers World. I mean, that's kind of telling on the quality. Shoppers World.
It wasn't. I didn't buy it.
I know.
Just to let you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, we had for all you guys, there were plenty of things that we needed to buy going into the trip. So if you already had a large suitcase, let's not spend money on another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have, because then
But we wouldn't have been in that situation.
Yeah, I was kind of basically dragging my fucking luggage
across multiple trains, across multiple long-term trains.
Yeah.
Because I remember one train was 2.5 hours, one train was 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And then
the bullet
we
trains.
got caught. Yeah, we got caught in between the two trains. Like we were just not stuck, but we just had to wait a little while.
Well, we were kind of separated because our luggage. Because there's just luggage stations that you put in, and then you have a specific spot where you have to sit within the train, and you can't go anywhere else.
Yes, when we were putting our luggage in.
So sometimes our luggage would be a few cars away from us. So before our stop would come in, we'd have to run to our fucking storage spot, get our luggage, and then be ready to leave. Yeah. Because if you don't, you fucking miss your stop, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like just leaving my luggage
stressful.
on those a couple cars away was definitely a stressful experience because like this is the first time in that country. Like I don't know like if there's a theft rate or anything. Like I don't know if people are gonna go through our stuff. And coming from Jersey, like having to do New York transportation, Jersey transportation, I'm always gonna be on edge about people stealing stuff. Like you can't trust nobody in New York. So it's just like, okay, well, we don't really have a choice. Our luggage has to stay over there. We need to stay in our seats. I know if I was less tired, I would have been more stressed out. Yeah. But I was just like having done the 8-hour flight and then just immediately trying to go to our Airbnb from there.
As quick as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, I didn't have enough energy to be stressed out. I was pissed. Yeah. But I couldn't be like openly stressed. And I also felt like I had to be the one responsible and just like level-headed through the whole thing too. So I couldn't even if I wanted to express my emotions more, like it wasn't an option. Yeah. Or else it would have like transferred to you guys too. Yeah. But yeah, I know. I do remember that first day being like the most stressful. Yeah, Do you remember what time we got to the
It was night.
I feel like it was like 9 o'clock. We arrived, oh man. I don't remember what time we arrived, but it was such a long day. It was like 11 hours of travel, some shit like that. I was just like, bro, this is ridiculous. And then I remember once we got there, we were just like, yo, this was a bad idea.
Airbnb was pretty decent. Yeah. And then on the bottom floor, because we were pretty up top, so we had like a view of the city right there. Yep. And on the bottom floor, there was just a 7-Eleven, and 7-Elevens are different over there.
Yes, they are.
Way nicer than actual convenience stores.
Access to real food. Mostly 24 hour? Yeah.
Pretty much
24 hour access to real food, not just like shit, not like honey buns and juices.
There were snacks and shit, but like, you know.
Yeah, but you'll be able to get like real microwavable food that's actually like edible.
And there's actual microwaves at the fucking
so you can make it there.
So you can just make it there, and there's tables and you can eat. And that's
exactly. Excuse me.
Great. Fucking great.
Yeah, very good situation.
So we're kind of jumping ahead.
It's okay. I mean, you hit another pro. Let me think. What do you have a con in terms of like that timeline, getting to the Airbnb or doing the whole transportation, getting to the Airbnb? What would you say your con would be for that?
Damn. Within that timeline?
Yeah. Or I mean, you can keep moving forward.
Damn, that's kind of pushing it, but okay. Kind of a con. It's a con. Xenophobia.
Just being in a brand new country, not knowing where you are.
No, basically, since the Korean people over there, CSS foreigners, some of them let's say
being xenophobic towards us.
Xenophobic towards us, which is gonna happen. That's fine. But like, damn. So let's say like you're sitting within a bus or a train alone, and no one else would sit next to you. They would rather just stand up. And it's just like, damn it. I'm like,
it's not that serious.
I feel some type of way.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, for them, it's like, bro, it's not that serious. Like, we know we're new, but like, we don't smell.
I know. Yeah.
We don't smell or nothing. We ain't gonna bite you. Come on.
It's just, that fear of unknown thing. But it's not that bad. It's kind of to be expected within any foreign country.
Yeah. I mean, it probably didn't help them. It's like 2 black people and an Indian person. Yeah. They're probably like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Who are these people? What do they want from us? Because I think, at least when we got to Busan, there were no black people.
Not like that
Not
I
really.
knew.
It changed. It definitely changed when we got further into the trip. But like from the onset of the trip, there were no colored people.
No, there were.
Not many.
Within
not
the
black. Definitely not black.
the party spot, which was near the Somyeon Street, I think it
in
was
Busan,
called.
right?
Yeah, that's where all the
remember the
like
names.
party spot was.
I definitely don't
Yeah.
remember the names. Yeah, that first week of the trip is like a total blur to me.
Okay,
I don't even remember because like we hit the beach early too, right?
No, we didn't.
we didn't hit the
We
beach
didn't
in
hit
Busan?
Busan. No.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why it's a blur to me. I'm fucking jumbling everything
You
up.
said that hella Asian. You're like, whoa.
I'm channeling my inner, channeling the trip, not my inner.
Jesus. Nah, I just remember the weather being really dog shit.
Yeah.
It would
Thank
fucking
you.
be super
Thank you
cloudy.
for saying that. Oh my gosh.
Super cloudy or always raining, and it's just like, where the fuck is the sun?
Yeah. So
Where's
what
the
we didn't
sun
pay
at?
attention to, guys, what we didn't pay attention to was that we were going in basically like once the school year was over, because I was working, it was my first year working in public school.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, okay, the minute school was over, it was like the weekend afterwards. Yeah, the weekend afterwards, we went on the trip.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work for South Korea because that June, like mid-June to maybe, what was it, like mid-July, was monsoon season. We didn't know that. So at least like that first week, yeah, so much rain, like torrential downpour too. It's not like New Jersey rain where it's like, okay, it's kind of annoying. It's like, nah, torrential downpour, like you're not really going anywhere. So that kind of made the whole trip a little bit gloomy. It didn't set us up to be like super happy about the whole setup. And so like more stuck inside than we wanted to be.
Yeah.
And just, kind of pissed off about like the planning of it, like in the timing. Yeah, that weather was ass.
Which kind of leads to another con.
Yeah, what you got?
The weather.
The weather, yeah.
Humidity.
It was
God
high.
damn.
You're right, humidity
I
was
would have
high.
to take multiple showers a day. You step out and you start
You
sweating
soak
immediately.
yeah.
It's gone.
Dude, and I don't even like sweating. I hate sweating so much because I think I'm out of the three of us that went, I'm the most susceptible to sweating, and that shit just pisses me off. So just being
I
there,
sweat a lot, I'd say.
Okay, you probably sweat evenly. Maybe not now.
Maybe
I
not.
probably sweat a little bit less. But yeah, it was kind of annoying.
Yes. Humidity was terrible.
Yeah. Hot, wet, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you step outside, you start sweating, and it's just like, damn, I feel like I need another shower. Yeah. And then, rain every now and then would suck.
What do you remember doing in Busan? Because I
didn't go out on my
nothing.
own. Well, actually, I
remember
did
nothing.
once. You and Mar went to see, I guess, one of your former students.
Oh shoot, you're right. June, shout out to June. Shout out to June from Tenafly, New Jersey. Because we were working at Tenafly, I think that was like my first full year working at Tenafly. A lot of the students have Korean descent. Some of them even come from Korea. So I'm pretty sure, if I recall his story correctly, June had lived in South Korea when he was younger and moved to the United States with his parents. His grandmother was still living in South Korea, so he was able to go visit his grandmother, and the timeline had worked out. And so out of the kindness of his heart, he was like, oh, let me give you guys a tour of the area closer to my grandmother. So yeah, me and Mar had left. It was just a full day trip though. So me and Mar had left and he was just showing us a couple areas. I couldn't tell you where it was because it's like literally our first couple of days in South Korea. I didn't know what the frick anything was. So I'm just going along with the full trip. But he treated us so well. I know we ended the day with just going to a restaurant. He was just talking about just his family's experience, what his parents had done or were doing in South Korea, what they had done when they were younger, and then what it was like transitioning to the United States. So it was a nice chance to be able to hear his story and how it related to his home country. Yeah. Did you do anything when we were gone that
While
day?
you guys were gone, I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And no, I mean, that was a cool experience because I'd missed it in America.
Yeah.
But then I saw in a movie theater right there.
With
It was
subtitles? Was it
they were
in
Korean
Korean?
subtitles,
So, okay.
but the language is still English.
Okay, so you still got
The
the
native
full
language. So
experience.
yeah, I still got this food.
Yeah.
It was weird because
Good movie.
there would be jokes that were in the movie and no one would laugh besides me
yeah.
because I guess I was the only foreigner who actually understood it. So it's just like,
Yeah.
all right,
And they're gonna miss some stuff with the translation.
yeah. And then
that American wit.
within that same building, because that's a cool thing about Korea is like the verticality of the businesses.
Oh yeah.
So
Everything's just
one
stacked
floor
up on
you'll
each other.
have something, and then another floor you'll have like something completely different,
Yes.
unrelated. So within that same building of the movie theater, I found some store that sells anime merch and shit.
Yeah. Did you take us to that place?
No.
No? Okay, so when we got to Incheon, it was another similar place.
Yeah.
Okay, near.
Yeah, they sold anime merch and shit, and
Yeah.
I didn't buy anything. It was just like window shopping. It was just like, oh shit, like Koreans like anime, and I was just looking at prices because I was just curious, and things are just cheaper. in Korea,
Everything
which
was cheaper.
is a pro.
Taking us to our next pro, the price of food,
The price of
the
everything.
price of clothing, the price of experiences, everything is just so much cheaper. I felt like a rich person. I just felt like a rich person going into
We were.
South
The
Korea.
US dollar goes pretty hard over there.
Yeah, it does. Oh my god. I think the conversion was 0.73, if I'm not mistaken. No, 0.073, something like that.
It could have
Something
changed
like
by
that.
then.
I mean, it's definitely
been 2
different
years,
now.
so.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely felt like I was balling. Like, I felt bad because like we already went there with credit cards. Well, I didn't feel bad. I felt not frugal anymore.
Yeah.
Because we went over there with
wasn't that
credit
frugal.
cards, and I was already in the mindset of like, I don't really care how much I spend. I just had a full-time job. I don't pay rent. Like, let's fuck it. Let's go hard.
Yeah,
Let's go hard. So when it came to the trip, like I was buying food. I was buying drinks, like no problem. Clothing. We have gone clothing shopping plenty of times. Picked up some good clothing from South Korea that I still wear to this day. Yeah, they just,
I did not
the
buy any
quality,
clothing.
The quality of the clothes is just so much better.
Just
It's
because
just so much better.
I didn't because I have enough clothes as is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
yeah.
would say the same, but I didn't care. I was like, this is the first time in South Korea. Like, it's a completely different fashion sense. So I was just like, fuck it, let's ball. And then Mar even more. So, oh my gosh, Mar even more so on the fashion and then the skincare products. So Mar is my sister. Again, I don't know if you guys will have a chance to meet her, but we'll speak a little bit about her experience. She had went in, remember, on the skincare products because South Korea is basically the skincare
They're known,
capital
for their skincare.
of the world. They are known for their skincare. And then she was just like, again, everything was cheaper. Similar products that she would already buy in the US, but everything was cheaper. So she would get like 4 times the amount in South Korea than she would in the United States. So of course she was gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So I remember she came home with like a whole, like one of the smaller suitcase sized, smaller suitcases filled with just the skincare products. Yeah, so we had to take advantage of those deals for sure.
Yeah, I didn't really buy anything. I'll say I did go ham on food though. I will say
you
that.
did. I know you
Which I guess is another plus we can talk about.
Yeah. What was your best meal, if you can remember?
I want to shout out this place too. It's called
The specific place.
yeah, I do still remember because I ate at it like 2 to 3 times. It's called Rucker Hughes in Incheon. It's a chicken spot, and I think I've taken you there once.
Most likely. The only thing I remember was BBQ, man. BB.Q. But it's like commercial at this point.
Yeah.
They have them now in the United States.
I was very skeptical because I'm just like, it's fried chicken.
Yeah.
How different can it be? And then
Until you
eat
try
it,
it.
and then it's just like,
Crispy. The chicken is not well done, but
well
it's
seasoned.
well cooked.
Yeah.
Well seasoned. It was juicy and crispy at the same time. Yeah, shout out to Korean fried chicken.
Korean fried chicken,
Because
man.
shit, dude, that's the real KFC right there.
yeah. It said,
It's different. That shit hits different.
come on, black people, step it up. Step your
Oh,
chicken
God.
game up.
So what's the, if I remember correctly, it was like it's
And
double
Arabs-
fried,
Arab-
right? The South Korean chicken is double fried.
think so.
you
I don't
remember?
know
Yeah.
I don't know the process. I just know it was good as fuck. Yeah,
You say Arabs?
Rucker Hughes in Incheon was probably my favorite spot I ate at because I ate there like 3 times.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah, that was great.
I didn't do any of the local shops. I stayed away from local shops. Like I tried to find stuff that was more like commercial because that's just me. I'm a picky eater, you know that. So any situation where I had to like go in and like figure out what I needed to eat, I was trying to stay away from.
But this place had like an English menu, so like it was easy. It was run by a couple, an very older Korean couple, and they surprisingly had an English menu, and they gave it to me. And I ordered, and that was game changing. That was game changing. Nice. I was like, man.
Nice.
Because they also give you gloves.
Oh my God, yeah, because it's so messy.
Yeah, because it's so messy.
The clear plastic, the clear plastic gloves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So another thing on the food, the serving sizes. The serving sizes were large. If I remember.
I was expecting it to be bigger. I mean, smaller. Well, because if I remember correctly, I'm gonna be saying that a lot today. If I remember correctly, for the most part, no one eats alone. Everyone eats in groups, or either small groups or large groups. Yeah. But where the standard experience is like, hey, you're gonna be eating with friends either after work or you're gonna be eating with family. So yeah, even if it was like, if you're buying a single serving, it's still like technically meant to be shared. It's large enough to be shared with other people. But you, on the other hand, you're just taking the whole serving. I remember anytime I ate from the BB.Q place, I would always have to take the chicken home, at least like a couple of pieces I have left over. I think the first time we went, I think I know what you're talking about now. What was the name of the place? Rucker Hughes.
Rucker Hughes. I think the first time we went there, I was able to finish the entire meal. Did we go to that place with Yumi? By any chance?
No.
Okay. All right. It was a different. Did we go to eat chicken with Yumi?
That was a BBQ.
Okay, that was BBQ.
Yeah.
Okay, I spent so much time at BBQ.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm a commercial guy.
And for me, doesn't work. Whenever I was hungry, I would just try to find a spot I haven't eaten
that was new
before. Yeah.
Because that's your go-to. That's the way that you like to experience food.
I always want something new, but there is an issue with that because it is a foreign country. The menus and stuff aren't guaranteed to be in English. Same thing with the restaurant staff; they're not guaranteed to speak English. So,
but thank God we had apps like Papago. Yes. The savior, basically.
Yes. And sometimes, I mean, it kind of gives you like a rough thing of what it's trying to say, but for the most part, you can get through with it.
Yeah. Man, I remember.
You would have to scan menus and then it would look at the translation. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get this.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because some of the menus were like really tightly packed too.
Yeah.
I remember there was 2 instances, both of the times I kind of gave up too, where I was like, okay, I'm sitting at the table, the menu is on the wall. I'm like, I'm already stressed out about the food because I am a picky eater. I'm a picky eater, and now I'm just like, well, I'm a picky eater and I have decision fatigue. So having a whole menu that I didn't know what anything said, I'm just like, okay, I'm sitting at the table, taking a picture of the thing, translating on Papago, seeing a bunch of different menu items, and I'm like, I still have no fucking clue what this is. And I'm just like, yo, I am so stressed out. Like, I can't even eat. I'm so stressed out, I can't even eat. But no, I think the technology of Papago kind of definitely did save us a lot throughout the entire trip. I know you were using it very comfortably and just being able to speak to the natives and try to get conversation going, whether it was ordering food or just asking them like directions or asking them about their personal lives, trying to get to know the people.
Which is, that was, Papago. Yeah, that's a good app. It's a good fucking app.
Definitely necessary.
Don't
if you're
use
going
Google
to South
Translate.
Korea, no, oh my God, nope. Too slow. Google Translate's too slow.
And
it's not going to be accurate. Exactly. If you're going to go to South Korea, you have to have those 2 apps, Naver Maps, and you have to have Papago. If you don't have those, you're basically asking to not survive your time there. So don't make those mistakes.
But yeah.
Was there any other apps that we had? From South Korea?
Probably deleted them.
Of course. I mean, you don't need them now.
Kakao Talk.
Kakao Talk. Oh, I didn't have any friends, so I didn't talk to anyone.
Well, no, I think didn't with some Airbnb people, you had to talk with them interact with them.
Yeah, but I still kept it limited. I still tried. I still tried to limit how much I needed to talk to anyone.
Okay.
In terms of anything.
I think I only used it once or twice.
But we still needed Kakao.
That's their messaging app. For people
there was another Kakao app because we had to do our taxi rides on there too.
Oh.
Was it just Kakao Taxi?
I don't remember.
I forget what the app is called.
I don't remember.
But yeah, any of like our Uber type stuff, we had to do it through Kakao.
Something. Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it's Kakao Taxi. You guys will look it up for us.
Yeah.
But I guess that takes us to another pro, like just the transportation, but not like not the buses of public transportation, the buses of the trains. Just being able to easily get a taxi just through the app.
Any time of day?
Any time of day.
Because buses and trains stop running at 12.
Yeah.
And then after 12, you're kind of fucked. So what can you do?
You have to walk everything.
You gotta use a taxi.
Yeah. So that pivots me to my con. It's like a pro and a con at the same time. So it depends on who you are as a person. Walking. Everything you're gonna do is walking. So let me talk on a little bit. Okay. So everything you do is like walking distance, which is not bad, but I was never the type of person to like walking. Mm-hmm. Like if my time in New Jersey is like, hey, like even now, like I use one wheels, I use skateboards, I use everything in my power to not walk. Yeah. Car, so getting over there is just like, I remember you guys were like getting pissed at me because I wanted to take a bus stop that's like a couple blocks down. Yeah. It's just like, well, the bus is cheap itself. It's not gonna hurt me. It's not gonna hurt me to buy the ticket or to use the T-Money card and pay for the ticket. But you guys are like, yo, it's like 3 blocks away. Yeah. Just fucking walk. I'm just like, I just don't like walking. I don't like walking.
But there's also like a lot of within the cities.
Yeah.
Korea does have the scooters that you just pay and then you use. You could have done that.
I don't remember the scooters.
Okay. Yeah, they were just scooters.
But I feel like I do remember the scooters because I did use it.
Yeah.
So much of this trip is a blur, man. So much of the trip is a blur. So I know I spent time like individually once we got to Incheon, for sure. Like that was a time where we were kind of pissed at each other. Like it was the height of our conflict, and then we started separating and doing our own thing. So there was one place that I remember very, very well. It's the Suwon Hwasong Fortress. That was like my favorite part of the entire trip. So the city is Suwon in South Korea. And essentially the fortress, it's just a barrier, a military barrier around the center of the city. And you can walk the entire fortress, and there were different areas designated where they're like, literally different parts of the fort, different places where the military action would happen. If you're at a higher point, it would be more of like a stakeout zone where you would look on the outskirts of the city and just see if there were enemies coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just one of those situations where I didn't have a problem with walking because it was like I had the opportunity to circumnavigate the city and just see the landscape of the city and just be really comfortable with all the area around me. Yeah, it was a really nice experience, and I think that was the first time I actually had a chance to speak to a local. I forgot what was going down, but it was like early on in my walk around the city. I had stopped at one of the stopping points in the fortress, and this dude had come up to me. Oh, I was just like looking and admiring the landscape, and this dude had come up to me. He was like, "Hey, where are you from?" I was like, "United States, New Jersey." And then he was telling me about, I think his son. I'm gonna say this wrong, but I know he was saying his son was in the States I want to say California, but I might be wrong. And
It's
so
probably
we just
Cali.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the closest
one.
state there. Yeah. So we were just having a little open conversation, open dialogue about like experience so far in
he spoke
South
English
Korea.
well?
He spoke English enough to where we could have a decent conversation, and I didn't need to use Papago at all.
Okay.
Which I was like, yeah, that's the reason we were even able to have the conversation, because he came up to me and was able to speak English like at a decent level. So it was good. And that was like my first interaction with the local where I felt like welcomed and they were like interested in my story.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And then after that, I just walked. I walked the rest of the fortress. I got a really nice picture because at the time we had both brought our cameras. I got a really nice picture of like one of the structures of the fortress. And I was looking at it earlier today. I was like, damn, this picture is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I need to like print that one out and just like post it on my wall. I might make a puzzle out of that actually, just cause.
I didn't know you could just make your own puzzles.
You can make a puzzle out of anything, dude.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Anything.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's great. I forgot, Puzzle Me. Anyways, yeah, you can just look it online. Literally, it's like custom puzzle, and it's a really cool experience. You should try it. And they have different sizes, of course. I think I've done it one time where I made a puzzle out of like our indoor percussion floor for our last season, and I did a 1,000 piece puzzle. I'm not done. It's literally sitting on my piano. So hopefully I'll finish that, and then if that one gets done, then I'll look into making a puzzle out of that South Korea fortress picture. Yeah, but Incheon, obviously the bulk of our trip was spent in Incheon, the 4 weeks. That was a really good time. You made most of your friends in Incheon, right? You made your biggest friend.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to talk on it?
No, I'll talk.
You seem scared.
I want to. I mean, I'll talk about my very first friend I made.
Yeah.
Which is his name is Song. In
that was
in Busan.
Busan, yeah. Because I remember you introduced him to us on the last day.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How that happened was I was looking at this guy busking. All right. Well. I was looking at this guy busking, which is basically live performing.
Yeah.
Just singing.
Oh, cool.
Out. And I had brought my GoPro and my camera with me, so I was taking videos and pictures of them. And obviously, just pulling out a camera is gonna garner attention from people. So like, he was kind of the dude singing. Was performing for my camera and shit, and then people were looking at me and wanting to take pictures again, scared because I was a foreigner.
Because you were a foreigner, yeah.
Everyone else that's looking within that circle is Korean, and I'm the only foreigner right there. So people are kind of looking at me and
with
seeing,
the camera.
yeah, with the camera and seeing how, I guess, interested I am in this dude's performance and recording it, which I still have the videos. I still haven't posted them.
Nice.
But then Song comes out of nowhere, approaches me, starts talking to me, and very broken English, but hey, through the power of Papago,
Exactly.
we were both able to communicate with each other. So then it was cool. I got him on Instagram and stuff, and then he talks to me every now and then, so that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
He still reaches out.
He still reaches out.
Cool.
Shit, so that's pretty cool of him to do that.
Cool.
And then he tried to get me in a club.
Yeah. That same night?
That same night, that very same night. But I needed my passport because the thing about Korea is you can't really travel. Well, your ID is your passport, basically. You can't get into places where you have to be a certain age without your passport.
Without the passport.
And I didn't have my passport on me that day, but because he's Korean, he was trying to like vouch for me and trying to get me in.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Didn't work.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I was about to say, if it didn't work, that was
It didn't work.
wild.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
It didn't work, so it was like, whatever. And then it was like a 10-15 minute walk to get back home to get my passport to come back. But I'm like, nah, I'm right. I'm here already. Why not just stick around? So even if I didn't go into a club, it's whatever. I was having a good time. And then we left after that. And then what was I doing? I did come to that street like 2 or 3 more times because it's
party
like
street.
the party.
I remember you
street.
taking us there.
On the street.
Yeah, I remember it being bussin' and Busan.
Yeah, bussin' and Busan.
Busan was bussin'. Yeah, I remember that place. I remember that area. Yeah, dude. So when I think it was like the next day, either the next day or 2 days afterwards, considering we hadn't spent that much time in Busan, you were taking us to that same area, and I remember, it was live. I was like, okay, this is great. Like all the different clubs, like tightly packed to each other. The nightlife is real.
And the neon signs.
Everyone and their mom just outside. I remember we had long lines, right, into the club, because I remember there was one club.
Too much of a line.
Yeah, but I remember one club we were just standing there trying to get in, waiting to get in.
I do remember the club we went to. We did end up going to. It was called Club Cream.
I can't believe. Oh, first of all, it's cream.
All right.
But yeah, I remember. No, it was a good time. It was a good time. So I mean, yeah, that also was another thing that I did really much like about South Korea. It's just the club culture is different.
Party culture.
It's not. You're not there to just pick up girls. It's just like, yo, you're there to actually have fun.
a good time.
Yeah. And it wasn't like. It was interesting because it wasn't like. For like an American experience, if you say, oh, you're just gonna have fun and not go get girls, basically it means, oh, it's gonna be like a sausage fest. It's gonna be a sausage fest or it's gonna be a girl fest.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that. Like I remember it still being like commingled, fairly well mixed. But like, at least for us, like if we were talking to girls, it wasn't to be picking people up. It was just like, hey, let's have conversation, casual conversation, get to know you guys, get to know what the vibe is, and then we ended up like still gravitating towards just like the dudes that were just having a good time and just literally just partying because that was hip.
And because we were foreigners and they saw us having fun, they wanted to join in.
Yeah, it was good.
Or they would let us join in. They would like not grab you, but like motion you to come over and just have fun. So it was dope. It was always the dudes together that got the party popping too.
Yeah, you're right. Hey man, guess some dudes know how to get it done.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I remember in the club that we were in for Busan, I still have a video of just me jumping up and down with the fucking camera, like
when they played Mobamba.
Oh yeah,
I got out of all the clubs I went to, because I did go to a few, but that was probably the best DJs
for Cream.
Club Cream.
Nice, man.
Their music selection. And everything just went so hard. And there were also foreigners within the club. We're not the only foreigners, but foreigners to Koreans ratio, obviously, more Koreans people.
Of course.
And it was cool.
So since you mentioned American music, we're now down to my con. Motherfuckers played too much Charlie Puth. And I know Mara was getting pissed about that too. Everyone loves Charlie Puth in South Korea. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Charlie Puth had performed with BTS.
Jungkook.
Yeah, with Jungkook. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe that was their introduction to Charlie Puth. But yo, it's like as you're walking the streets, it's like every 4 songs is like Charlie Puth. Like, bro,
I like it.
I had enough. I know you already like Charlie Puth.
Also, most
but
clubs,
all his shit is the same.
I noticed the clubs I guess I went to, they didn't really play Korean music. It was mostly American music.
Yeah, so. I mean, American music is lit, bro.
Yeah.
The fuck? The fuck? I would say, in my experience, K-pop, ugh.
But I would have liked to hear, like, Korean music. Like, maybe, whether it be, like...
Korean rap, though. Because I'm gonna, like, damn, I feel like, what's the actual word? Starts with a B. When you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Starts with the B.
Starts with the B.
Anyways, I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it's very possible that K-pop is still like a main genre.
Yeah.
I know K-R&B was still pretty fire, and then like traditional music was still happening as well. But like none of the stuff we just listed, like you wouldn't play that in clubs. I don't think K-pop is meant to be danced to.
Not really.
Yeah, at least the stuff that even the newer stuff that I
don't really listen to K-pop like that. So
I listen there's one artist that I still listen to. I'm not saying it wrong. I think it's Super M is the artist, K-pop artist. Even that's still not. It's not danceable. It's like it's nice for gym because it's upbeat. It's nice for the gym because it's upbeat and it's pumping. But like I would not listen to that in a club. It's not the right vibe. But I think because party culture is just different in America. Like people are really trying to like get down and like get busy, get down and get busy. So the music is more tailored for that.
Also, another thing to talk about the party scene. In America, it feels like nights only get popping during Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
In Korea,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday for America.
Thursdays?
People still get lit.
Really?
Well, if you're a college student, Thirsty Thursdays.
Okay.
So
all right.
And then it translates to when you're like out of college too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. Anyway.
But yes, South Korea.
South Korea gets popping every day.
Every day. Every fucking day, man.
I don't know how.
Well, remember, it's because the work culture is pretty high too. Remember, they're working nonstop.
Work culture there's pretty bad.
Yeah, like all they do is work, and then they go eat with friends and family, and then that's pretty.
Sometimes they're forced to go out with their bosses too, even though they don't want to.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of that thing is called, but like basically, if you chose not to go, you'd kind of be looked down upon.
Potentially get fired.
Maybe.
But
you would just be shamed by basically your boss. So like even if you didn't like them and shit, and you'd still go out.
Yeah.
Or like, Sometimes you just want to get out of work and just chill.
And just relax.
Just relax.
It's not like that.
But sometimes
I know one of the things that we noticed, like in talking to the friends that we did make in South Korea, it wasn't common for video games. Like video games, just relaxation time, leisure.
I think people play video games. It was mostly
not as much
within
as we
PC
do.
cafes.
Exactly, that's why I was about to go. PC cafes.
Yeah, which I never
it's
gone
different.
to.
Like in the United States, like everyone has their home console. You have a console or you have a PC, but you're able to do that in the privacy of your own home. But that wasn't the situation when we got to South Korea. I was gonna say something that was connected to that, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, there's not much to do. If I remember correctly, there's not like event. That's not true. There's not outings to do. Like if you think about United States, like I want to go do something tonight. It's like okay, you have a wide range of things to do. Like you go to Topgolf, you could do an escape room, you can go to the movies, you can go to a garden, you can go to the park, you can go bowling, you can go all these different things. You can go to a restaurant, you can go to archery, all these different experiences. But like it's not that the variety didn't really exist like that in South Korea. I think like the only options I felt like we had were like, hey, we're gonna go to a bar, we're gonna go to a club, we're gonna go to a restaurant, we're gonna go to the movies, and we're gonna go play billiards. Like that's what it felt like our only options were.
Yeah.
In terms of like outings, not like big events, but just outings.
Yes.
And like to my experience, it kind of feels monotonous. Like, and that kind of goes hand in hand with like the work culture being so toxic too. It's like, well, they don't really have options. They work so long, and then they don't have options to go enjoy themselves. So it's
which is why later people go drinking.
Yeah. Hey, at least they weren't drunkards though. So yeah, the rate of people that actually drink and smoke.
Yeah, they're
right.
A lot of cigarette smokers.
Cigarette smoking was really high, but no one was like a drunkard.
Yeah.
And then, if I recall, homelessness wasn't really a thing either.
No, there was homelessness,
but not as much as like New York and such. Yeah.
Yeah, homelessness was a thing. Especially in train stations, you'd see homeless people just like laying out there and everything. And it'd be sad.
Yeah.
But
did you help them though?
Not really.
Yo, you gotta help those in need.
I know.
The other day, total aside. Well, no, I didn't. But the other day, for the first time ever, I helped someone in need. I was just going into a Wawa.
I'm probably more willing. Probably more willing to do that in Korea than I would in America. Because,
more trustworthy?
Yeah, I'd say so. Culture is different over there compared to America.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you give money to like a homeless guy here, he's probably
gonna go get some drugs.
Like they'll say they're hungry and stuff, but more often than not, it's probably drugs.
But you can just
Trying to
ask
get-
them. Yeah.
Well, there was one homeless guy back when I used to live in Elizabeth. He would ask me to just buy him food. I'm like,
Yeah. That you can
okay.
do. Exactly.
I'm like,
yeah.
that makes you a lot more trustworthy
Yeah.
than just giving you money and not knowing what that money's gonna do.
That's a totally different story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously they weren't going to be doing that. They weren't going to be asking us, foreigners,
No one did.
when we're in South Korea. That would be a really awkward take.
Well, I never seen them hold signs either,
I mean, they're not beggars.
or like actually begging.
they're not fucking beggars.
Yeah. They kind of just roll with it.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. It's a plight of a situation, but yeah, they weren't like they weren't crying about it. Yeah.
But wait, you said go back to your story.
Oh, for Wawa, yeah. This is the other. I think it was literally this week. So I generally don't help people when they ask for money. And it's kind of just at this point, like no one really holds money on them anymore.
Yeah.
Most people use cards or Apple Pay. And so he was asking for food as I was going into the Wawa. And I'm just like, yeah, sorry, I can't help you. But literally as I kept walking away, I was like, I can actually help him this time. Like I probably should.
Yeah.
So I purchased my stuff. Because I was only going in for a drink. So I purchased my drink, walked out. I was like, hey, do you actually want food? He was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, all right, man, come on, let's come inside. And so I stayed with him. He was having trouble ordering from the Wawa kiosks. So I did the order for him.
Yeah.
But I was just asking him like piece by piece, hey, what do you want? What do you want for the meal? At first he wanted a burger, but then they don't do dinner at Wawa until 6. So I was like, okay, we can't do that. Okay. So he was like, okay, let's settle on a chicken sandwich. I worked him through that order, and I was like, okay, do you want a drink too? He's like, yeah, I'll take a drink. And he's like, oh, let me get a milkshake. And I'm like, all right, we'll get you a milkshake. But yeah, like after giving him the food and all that stuff, just being able to help that person in need, it wasn't even like self-fulfilling because I really wanted to just get out as soon as possible. But I was just like, at the end of the day, there really was no reason for me to ignore him if he really was just asking for food.
Yeah.
And I have the money to spare. So it's like, all right, well, let me give you some food and then we all feel better about the day. I don't feel like I ignored you. And you don't have to worry about food for at least a couple more hours. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not bad. Hopefully I can keep that up. But I'm not. I think, not that I'm not. I think I'm just going to be like ultra vigilant. Because like you said, like it's kind of hard to trust people in the United States when it comes to people asking for food or really money. They don't ask for food. They usually ask for money.
Yeah. Going back to
South
Korea.
Back to South Korea.
Little tangent.
It's okay.
It's a little tangent.
I'm going to do it every time, man.
Yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot to talk about.
What was your best part of Incheon? You still didn't even talk about like your friend, your main friend in South Korea.
Man, just putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to talk about him, I don't know if there's anything going on.
I want to give him a shout out because that's my guy.
That's your guy.
It's my guy.
He's my guy too. I don't talk to him as much. So I mean, I don't talk to him like ever. But that's just my personality.
His name in short is Becca.
Becca, yes.
He's was from Uzbekistan.
Uzbek.
And I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce his full fucking name, but yeah, I met him through because I also want to shout out this bar, Cinder Bar.
Cinder Bar. Dude,
probably the best fucking bar I've ever been to.
Experiences at Cinder Bar. Yo, I guess we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah. I met him because he was a bartender at Cinder Bar in Incheon. Shout out again. Yeah, he was a bartender over there. I went alone one day, and then I had brought my camera. I was taking pictures and stuff, and then he liked having his picture taken by me, so I'm like, okay, cool. And then I got his Instagram and everything, and then it's been like that. We were super cool and everything, and we always still talk every now and then.
Yeah.
Send each other memes and whatnot.
You definitely had blossomed during your time in Incheon. Like the ability to just talk to random people, get their Instagram, whether it was like actually gonna lead to an interaction or not, you were not anymore afraid. You were not afraid anymore to just interact with those random people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for real, really shout out to Cinder Bar because that, man, going to that bar multiple times and just letting that be a hub for like all all the outcasts, all of us foreigners,
Yes.
just not like really having a place to congregate. Like that was the place, because there were minimal like foreigner friendly bars. I remember that being a point of conversation. It's just like, yeah, not many bars like having us.
And I found it through Google because I was searching foreigner friendly bars in Korea, and that did come up. And I went one day. It was on a weekday. It wasn't really popping. I had gone pretty early afternoon, and I met this guy that works there. His name is Cole.
Oh,
Yeah.
do I remember Cole? I don't remember Cole.
Cole. Okay.
I remember Weiss. Oh, Weiss. No, that's not his name.
no, Weiss.
Rusan. He's not important. Anyway,
Okay.
he was just one of the bartenders. He was like the quiet bartender.
Okay.
Who was the guy with the short dude piercings? Do you remember?
Asian?
Yeah, no, also from Uzbekistan.
Fuck.
He maybe didn't have piercings.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember names. Oh, but we had Savicha. I can remember his name. The taller Asian guy, black hair, black straight hair. It wasn't too long, but it was straight.
Oh no.
Okay. Hopefully, hey man, if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm so sorry.
I remember
because I know I do have him.
the
on
other
Instagram.
guy. He was Cambodian.
Aaron.
Chair.
Oh, what?
Chea.
Chea?
You just said you could just call me Chair.
Man,
I'm
I
like,
don't
okay.
even know anymore. So many people.
He was he was a bartender also there. Super cool. All the bartenders were pretty cool. And they're all dudes too. They're all chill guys.
Yo, shout out to Aaron. Sophie Aaron.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you just like removed him from your brain.
Yeah.
It's oh man, what a sad story. We don't have to go into his like our specific dynamic, but it was nice to be able to find someone because he was from Cambodia, and he was interested in American politics. Like he was because he was a student at the Incheon University. So we had the opportunity to interact with him.
Same thing as Becca.
In passing, yeah. We didn't mention where we were staying. The Airbnb that we stayed in Incheon was like literally a block away from the Incheon University. So a lot of the people we did get to meet were
a college
our
city,
age. Yeah, it's college town. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people we met were our age group, so it was very easy to interact with them. And it was again more foreigner friendly. So that's why we had a chance to meet people that actually spoke English. You didn't mention that yes, you met Becca at Cinder Bar, but he lived a couple blocks away from us.
Not even a block.
Not even a block.
Less than a block. He was like right there.
Cinder Bar itself was what?
Like half an hour.
Exactly, 30 minutes, yeah. So it was, I would say, by the grace of God, that he literally lived a block away from us. And so we were just able to have someone that was in the same town as us, in the same neighborhood, that could assist us and just get comfortable with the area that we were in. And then in the same vein, Mar getting to meet Yumi in the coffee shop that she continued to go to.
Which is right in the corner.
Yeah, right in the corner of our Airbnb. Yeah, just being able to make those like long-term friends really made a huge difference in our trip to South Korea. So I'm very happy that those guys like really took us under their wings and were just like, hey, here's how things are going. Here's how things move.
Also, there was kind of an issue
with.
You couldn't hang out with them as much as you'd like to because
they have lives.
Again, they have lives and
Real lives.
and jobs.
Yeah,
and we were just
Yumi
there.
had a freaking husband. Like she's running the business, the coffee shop on her own.
Yeah.
And she has a husband and a dog. So she got a whole life that she had to do. Yeah.
And fucking because I would ask Becca and he was like, "Yeah, I'm working. I got work." I'm like, "Fuck." But yeah, Cinder Bar is great.
Yeah.
It's the best probably foreign bar you'll see in Korea.
Yeah. If you go to Incheon, if you ever go to Incheon, check out Cinder Bar. You will not hate your experience. You will love it.
Ran by Warren. I want to say his name.
Was he Australian?
He was the owner. Yes, he's from Australia or New Zealand or
Oh
something.
yeah, I think New Zealand was correct. Yeah, yeah, very very down to earth.
Very very
and
great guy.
assuming the bar stays under his control, I don't think he would never hire people that are not like open and interested in creating a honestly safe environment, like very comfortable, safe environment.
And he's doing so well that he has 2 locations.
True.
One by the Incheon airport and then one in Songdo, which is
The party's place near Seoul. I don't remember specifically where Songdo is. That's just a neighborhood, isn't it? It's not even a city; it's a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood.
I don't remember.
I wouldn't really call it a party area.
Yeah.
But the first day I did go to Cinder, which was on a weekday, going back to that story, it wasn't really popping, but the staff, I did order food over there. Food is pretty good. And then the staff I spoke English very well. I was like, okay, cool.
Like, oh, what is
And
this?
I was like, okay, this is great. There were still like just Korean people there, which is fine.
Which made it better though.
Yeah.
'Cause, like it wasn't just foreigners. We still got native Korean people coming in.
Yeah. And they are because it's primarily like it's a foreign friendly bar, but like people are interested in foreigners, which is why you'd go there if you are Korean.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
great.
Yeah, all the people that I met there, like they were so interested in talking. They just really good interactions, very extremely good interactions. Yeah, I would 10 out of 10. I would go again. I would fucking go again just for Cinder Bar.
Cinder Bar is the place I miss probably the most.
Yeah, we made a lot of good friendships there.
I went to after. Because it wasn't popping, and then the dude was like, yeah, you should come here either Friday or Saturday. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then I left. And then I explored around Songdo City. I was just like, why not?
Dude, the last day that we had at Cinder Bar, it was just like, I felt like an emotional wreck. There was just so many people that I met that day. Well, there were a couple people that I met that day. And then like so many friendships and interactions that were wrapping up that day too. It was just like, man, it felt, honestly, now that I think back at it, it felt like everything was just like coming together, culminating to this like amazing experience. It's like, oh, I get to talk to you for 10 minutes about my experience in South Korea. I get to talk to you for 10 minutes about how it feels being a foreigner here. And it's just my time at home. And it was so good.
For me, I like listening to other people's stories rather than talking to mine. Because, I don't know, it's just like, I'm in a foreign country. I'm talking to someone who probably barely knows English, most likely. But I want to hear the story. It's cool. It's cool.
You ended up talking to a lot of there was a group of girls that you talked to.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, okay, first, I kind of helped him out because there was this one dude who was kind of harassing them.
Dan?
I don't remember his name, but it was some Australian dude. He was drunk.
Oh.
And he was trying to like hit on them, and he was making them really uncomfortable. So like, so I was trying to help him out. So I called a bartender to come, I guess, save them because
save the day.
I didn't want to like just start a fight because again, I'm a foreigner.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not trying to like, trying to kick myself out the country or whatnot. So, call the bartender, and then I guess the bartender's like, you kind of had like too much to drink or whatever, and then kind of backs them away. And then, that was after that, I got to know all of them.
From there, because I remember you actually had individual interactions with all of them, like all 4 of them. Yeah, and then what the fuck is her name? Eunice? Eunice? No, that's not her name. Yeah, I only remember her name on Instagram.
The one who was probably the best
at speaking English?
Yeah. Sunny.
Sunny, thank you. Sunny. That's Eunice. Because I'm thinking about her Instagram tag, but Sunny. Yeah, Sunny was cool. Being able to like actually talk. She was like the go-getter of the group. Like she was
probably the most
vocal,
comfortable in English.
the most vocal, the most confident. Yeah, it was a cool group of girls.
Oh yeah, the first day I actually went to Cinder, like when it was actually popping was the day we got back from Jeju. And then I went on my own.
Oh yeah, me and Mara were probably fucking tired.
Yeah. And then I went on and
go do something.
I had a good time.
All right, whatever, man.
And that's when I actually met Becca.
Oh, on the way back from Jeju. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I remember I'm also not gonna forget this. It might have been like the second to last time we were at Cinder. Either the second to last time or the last time we were at Cinder. Remember I had an argument with two black ladies? But it was like one that was like really arguing with me. We were just talking about like we were just talking about racism in like different areas, and I remember my take was like, you can't. Oh shoot, I don't remember. But I think my general take was like, you can't just blanket say that people are racist if you're not gonna go to the area and like actually experience it themselves. Because I remember like we were talking about places like South Carolina, we were talking about places like Texas, and I'm just like, okay, I get what you would think about those areas, and yeah, South Carolina is kind of racist sometimes. But like when you actually go there and let people talk to you, interact with you, like they're still pleasant. Like they're not trying to hurt you, and they're also not like trying to inconvenience you. Even if they have a bias in their head, at least from my experience, like they weren't acting or speaking on their bias. So it's not like if they are being racist, it's like it's really like passive. It's not a situation at all. And I remember we had just fucking a heated argument. Like I was kind of drunk and she was kind of drunk, and it was just like, it was just annoying.
Yeah, it was. You had told me about that. I didn't participate.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you were having your own good time.
Yeah,
downstairs.
I was just having a good time. I'm not trying to get into a fucking argument with somebody over like political conversation, because bringing politics into anything kind of divides,
especially on a
people.
Vacation. That's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
We're both on vacation. Why the fuck do we need to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember like at the end of it, she was like, "Oh yeah, let's get a hug," and I'm just like, I don't want to.
I do remember that. Yeah,
I don't want to interact with you anymore. I'm just like over this.
I didn't know what happened, but you had told me in the aftermath. So
yeah, it's all right. It was like, I would say that's like the worst interaction that I had with someone. Thankfully it weren't Korean, so it's like I don't need to think about Koreans in any like negative way. Yeah. Say that none of them did anything poor or negative to me. But yeah, I guess more about South Korea. The mountains, like I loved the mountains. I hiked so much.
You see, now it is kind of ironic for you to be saying I don't like walking.
I know.
I like
hiking is different. I will say hiking is different. Yes, it is ironic. There's more physical activity to be done. It's not that like you know me. I'm not. But you know, okay. You know me. I'm not overweight. You guys can see. I'm not overweight. I'm not out of shape or anything. I just feel like walking is so mundane. Like I hate how slow it is. Like I definitely have ADHD, so I'm like I gotta keep moving.
Self-diagnosed. By the way.
Self-diagnosed. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't nothing wrong. But I don't like walking. I don't like the slow pace of walking. And I just don't like how long it takes to get places. But hiking is a totally different story, because the intention is like, hey, you're gonna get physical activity. You're in a nature state, like nature environments, or it's like you're trying to see the things around you. You're trying to experience something at the peak of the mountain. So that was a totally different experience. I remember the mountain. I wish we could remember the actual name, but remember the peak of the mountain that we went to, where it was you, me, and Mar, and we basically made it all the way to the top.
It was a temple, correct?
Yeah, for the first time we went.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a temple.
To the top of the mountain, and then
then there was a trail.
A couple of temples.
Yes, that kind of broke off from the temple and just led you into the peak. Yeah, I do remember that one.
That was so cool. Yeah, the amount of temples that are in the mountains is
that was crazy. Probably the hardest fucking climb.
Dude,
ever.
the last.
Oh no.
Do you remember the last bit of the climb?
It was just stairs.
Because it wasn't stairs at the end.
It was
like big. It was stairs that were dug into the rock, and then they got super steep. Because Mar was like, she was like, I'm not doing this. She didn't have enough energy, and then the food that we had packed wasn't enough. So she was like, yeah, for the sake of my safety.
Are you talking about? Wait, are you talking about the last one? Ones. No, it's the very first mountain we climbed.
Okay. Well,
hike.
The side stairs where it looked like the stairs didn't stop.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember. So
Mar did come with us.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm jumping between the two.
Yeah.
I don't remember the specific one. Wasn't that one where we we had saw people doing like a recording for traditional
Yes.
South Korean
Yes.
music. Yeah, that
Yes.
was cool. That was cool to see. We made it to like a semi-peak, and we're just like, hey, we're tired. Let's take a break. And then we just see people
recording a music video
a
for
music video. Did they have a drone at the time?
yeah.
Yeah.
This
It was
drone,
cool.
camera crew, and
Yeah,
everything.
we just
and it
sat
was just
there and
like,
watched.
we asked them, we were like, can we just watch this?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a nice little break, and then
And then we continued
and then
onward.
we continued the never-ending stairs.
Yeah.
Definitely have videos and pictures of that stuff still. Yeah, those are some of the memories I'm just never gonna forget. It's just really nice experiences. But then the larger peak, the one after that, we all went together.
We did a few hikes, right?
I want to say I know there's two notable ones.
Yeah, two notable ones
in my head that we have. The one you just mentioned where it had that side stairs that never stopped, and then the one it was just much longer. That's it. Was it? Dang. Yeah. Details are gone.
Something. I forgot the
Details are
name of it.
gone.
Yeah,
But
I
it was
forgot the
like
name.
we thought it was the highest peak in South Korea.
Turns out it was just the highest
peak
peak
in
in,
Seoul?
I think, either Seoul or mainland
Mainland
Korea.
Oh, because Jeju was
Jeju's,
higher.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't.
Jeju's the highest one, yes.
Dude, I was so tempted. I remember after we left Jeju, I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, I want to go back to Jeju just to do the hike.
Yeah.
But it was like, if you looked online, it was saying, oh, like it's a 5-hour hike.
I thought it
At
said
least. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know it would take most of the day. If you were to go up and down, it would take most of the day. And so I really wanted to climb it for the experience and for, of course, the pictures.
Yeah.
Because man, some of those landscape pictures are just amazing if you took the time to get to the top of the mountain. But I couldn't just. Oh my God. I couldn't put it within myself to do a solo trip to Jeju and then do an entire day's worth of climbing. Because I would have to leave at like 4 a.m. Just to take a flight and then still come back the same day. It wasn't worth the trouble.
I guess, we'll talk about Jeju next.
Yeah.
Jeju is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Jeju, we had different experiences in Jeju because I remember me and Mar were more like, hey, we're looking for like attractions. We're looking for actual things to do. But I think you spent more time locally in Jeju. I remember there was definitely a split between what we were doing. Because I know one notable thing that me and Mar had done, we went to the Osulak tea factory. It was a factory.
I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I know, and we ended up getting there late too, but it was fine. So basically, it was the factory itself, like a building that was just taking care of the tea. You could do a tour where they were showing you like how the tea gets pressed and the different functions of the tea, and then at the end of it, they had tea-based products, food, and then like moisturizers and such. We bought all of that. It was really good. It was really good. But then they had like a green tea maze, really just the fields of the green tea, and you were able to walk through the fields. So it was just a really nice experience. I really liked the factory itself. It looked like a dome. Part of it looked like a dome, and it was just a really cool experience.
Jeju was tough, but because it felt like less people spoke English
That's correct.
than in mainland
Yes.
Korea we went to, and
Island
that
off
show
to
was
the
tough.
side. Did you still try to talk to people? Because I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't talk to nobody.
The best bar. Fuck, I forgot the name of it. I want to shout it out though. God. God, I forgot the name. It was some surfer shit.
Oh, the not Gecko. It was the.
No.
Oh wait. Oh, that was still in Incheon. The one on.
It's called, I don't remember, some
lizard?
surf bar or some
No.
shit. I don't remember.
What was the lizard one?
Oh, that was by the airport.
Okay.
That's where we met.
The lady.
Yeah, that was a good foreigner-friendly bar too.
That other lady. Lily. Shout out to Lily. We're never gonna see her again. She's really nice. Dating. What were you dating? A pilot.
A pilot.
Yeah. Shout out to Lily, man. Yeah, when she was telling us her story about dating the pilot, I was like, how the fuck? First of all, dating long distance is already hard enough, and then she's like, yeah, I date this pilot. We basically do our
pretty,
own
too.
lives. I'm just like, I could never.
She was in her 40s and 50s. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'll talk about in Korea. Korean people just look so good.
Yeah, they age differently. Well, I said, yeah. So I guess we'll talk on that first.
Yeah.
So yes, they do look good. However, don't forget that still plastic surgery is still really high.
I know. I'm aware.
It's still really high there. So yeah, I won't deny the fact that a lot of like the average Korean.
Yes.
Sorry, Americans. The average Korean.
No, it's true.
Is more. I'm not even gonna just say look better. Is more attractive than the average American.
Correct.
Yeah, and I'm not even like gassing it. I know you would say that more. Yeah.
Looks wise, obviously, also weight wise, like you barely see fat people in
Yeah, dude. Well, everyone's fucking walking everywhere. Yeah. Even watching the elderly, like going from work or wherever they're going, they're all still walking, and they're walking at a regular pace too. They're not struggling. No one has canes. No one has walkers. They're just like, hey, I'm alive. Like I might be 80 or whatever, but I'm still. Like,
fitness is highly promoted over there too.
Yeah.
Fitness products. Yes, walking everywhere. Probably food as well. Like I felt like I didn't really gain weight on that Korean trip.
You're right.
No matter
there was no
much,
shitty fast food. Most of the food, even the food at 7-Eleven wasn't nutritious, but it wasn't like stacked with sugar. Yeah. America got a fuck
or like
up.
quote unquote, artificial preservatives and whatnot, and all that shit.
Nah, man. It was really good. The food situation was really good. The overall health situation was really good for our 6 weeks there.
Koreans are very good looking people.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today. There was one, I think I had mentioned it on the trip. I remember just watching a girl, like she was taking a picture of herself, and intending to send it to someone. And then she spent like a good 10 minutes doing filters on the phone. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, I get like self-image. People have problems with self-image, but like she really sat on the bus the entire time and was just fiddling with the filters and trying to make the best picture possible. It's just like, yo, like they really care about looks in South Korea.
Looks do matter.
Which is crazy.
Another thing, it could be like a con as well, but like it felt like damn, if you weren't in a relationship, you were single. It felt like
you were a loser.
It felt like everyone around you is in a relationship in Korea.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, it made me feel lonely as fuck.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like
at the time, I was still talking to people too. I know we definitely don't have to go into that because I remember you guys being pissed at me for doing that. Like talking to people back at home.
I just thought it wouldn't make sense. Like, why would you talk to a girl?
Well, I wasn't gonna, I'll say it this way. I wasn't gonna interact. I wasn't gonna speak to people like that in South Korea because there was never gonna be a lasting interaction there. At least I had, for the people that I was speaking to at home, like there was an interaction that was already set, like that I just didn't wanna drop. Yeah.
6 weeks is a long time.
6 weeks is a long time, exactly. And I was not interested in not speaking to those people for 6 weeks.
And then it got to a point where you're like, fuck it, and then you were having your fun with girls too in Korea.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't like, what was the worst of it? The worst of it. I think I was speaking to girls, but like I was hitting them. I was flirting with them, but not to the point where it's like, oh, I want your number, like I want to hang out with you. It was never really that. It was just like, hey, let's get to a point where it's like, hey, we enjoy each other's company right now. And I think the only time where I like really felt that was when we went to, it was like one of the last days at Cinder, where it was like the same group of 3 girls that were always coming to the bar. And then I finally had like the courage to speak to them, and I spent some time playing cards with them, and then flirted with one of the girls in that group. But nothing came of it. Like there wasn't really an intention for it to be like, oh, we're gonna get together, or we're gonna have this like summer fling. Like, bro, we're there for 6 weeks, and we were literally leaving Incheon, so like. I wasn't gonna like get involved with someone and be in Seoul and then have to travel like 2+ hours to go visit them. Like that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, especially on a vacation. So yeah.
You were dancing with a couple too.
At the bar?
Yeah.
At Cinder?
I was like, okay, I guess you forgot about those girls back home.
Weren't important. But yeah, it was a good time. All that to say, it was a good time. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else I like? Pros, cons. I don't know. Oh, I mean, I guess I'll just say one con. I should have said this earlier. Yo, kimchi. I fucking hate kimchi, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just the different versions that they had, I just couldn't do it.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just there.
It's just like, out of all the foods they could have, I just couldn't wrap my taste buds around it. Yeah, it's like at the bottom of my list of like the worst part of the experience. Just kimchi. I couldn't do it.
I don't think I've had it that often. I don't love or hate kimchi.
They would give like the light.
No, they give those pickled radishes.
Yeah,
which are fire.
Oh, they're different things. Kimchi.
Kimchi is the cabbage.
Okay, thank you.
Like,
thank you. Both of them I didn't like. Okay, I did like kimchi more than the pickled radish.
Pickled radish,
I was like, this is bullshit.
They give you in like every
with every meal, and I fucking throw it out every time.
I love it.
I was just like, yeah, or I give it to you. Yeah. I was like, fuck this.
It's great.
It felt like I was eating acetone. I was just like, what is this?
Nah, they had some sweetness.
And the thing that pissed me off too is like they would give it to you like an appetizer. It would sit in front of me on the table, and I'm just like, first of all, I already don't like this.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm hungry as fuck.
Yeah.
So can I just get my fucking meal, please? Get awful, man. Oh shit.
Oh, sorry. I think I was still on the Jeju topic.
Go for it.
It was hard to like speak to people, and a lot of people didn't really speak English over there. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the end of the world because we were only there for 3 days.
Yeah, but
so
like,
it's just like, hey, you
damn. If I'm trying to do some, because I would go out at night.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's fucking hard, dude. Yeah. It's fucking hard.
Man, just
I remember we went to a restaurant, and I think we were having trouble ordering. And I felt so bad because I was like, damn, it's like we're like an inconvenience to the server and shit, and she doesn't really speak English.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah. I think Jeju would be one of those places where like,
which is weird because I've heard so many like good stories about Jeju and how it's like such a good vacation spot, which it is. But
I feel like you need to plan ahead. Like you need to have food ready to go. You need to know exactly what you want to do if you're gonna go to Jeju. We didn't even hit the beaches that often in Jeju.
Yeah, we did. We hit like 2 beaches.
See, I'm talking shit, man. I'm sorry, guys. I talk mad shit.
Yeah, we hit like 2 beaches. Yeah.
Were they on different sides?
Yes.
One was north.
Something like that. Yeah.
One was east. You can
Sure.
say something like that.
Something like that. I don't know.
All I remember is that at least for me and Mara, we did have a chance to like travel the entire like outskirts of Jeju because essentially the mountain is right in the center of the island,
which is like an inactive volcano.
So if you go,
I think
Jeju traveling Jeju was kind of bullshit because when you take the bus, it's like you couldn't go to the other side. You couldn't cut through. You couldn't go to the other side and come back. You would have to go to the other side and then go around. I'm just like,
and I don't think there's trains either. There's just buses.
Buses, or taxis. Subway. Yeah. Everything was so long. It was like an hour and a half to get to the other side of the mountain. Mm-hmm. And then again, like there's not many things to do because the whole island is a mountain essentially. Like there's not many things to do. You're pretty much just like seeing the sights.
Yeah.
But it rained in Jeju too.
Did.
Yeah. That kind of pissed me off because I'm just like, yeah, we're going for vacation, but fucking monsoon season.
I think
so
in Jeju, because I think it was at Jeju City. Yeah, we were at Jeju City, our second Airbnb. It was like, I ate Indian food.
Hey, you gotta eat what's comfortable.
It was by Indian people.
You gotta make it happen.
It wasn't by Korean people that were there, but it's all right. I don't know. I kind of wanted a taste of home, quote unquote.
Yeah, dude, we were gone for fucking weeks. I guess by the time we got to Jeju, that would have been week.
Not that I hate Korean food. It's just, you know.
Week 3, 4. Yeah. By the time we went to Jeju. Yeah, no, I was already just like, I've had enough. I've had enough of the Korean food. I need to be back home. I need to be comfortable.
They have plenty of like American type food out there.
Yeah,
there's also like
a lot.
Yeah, there was a good pizza place
near the house, near the Airbnb.
I had Mexican food by Koreans over there. That was pretty good. Not gonna lie. Koreans just do food good.
Yeah.
Well, or whatever.
I remember you enjoy like most of your meals. You didn't really have anything to complain about.
Never really qualms, no.
Yeah. So how was your experience in Seoul? Because that was the last place that we were in. We spent about a week in Seoul. I know you went to the clubs a lot. You were there like every day.
I think
You're like, I have to go out. It's our last week left.
yeah, it's our last week left. You might as well go hard.
You go? Oh, I'm jumping around. You went to an amusement park. Oh, we went to 2 amusement parks. We had Latte World, which we went together. But
Yes.
then there was another amusement park that you had went to before. It was, I think
Yes.
this was still in Incheon.
Fuck.
You had
What
one
was
by
the-
yourself, and I was fucking
Yes.
pissed. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
you didn't fucking tell me, but
Yeah, I had to go early too because it was a long ass bus ride. Fuck, Lot World and God, what the fuck was the name of it?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll remember it.
I don't know.
I'll remember it.
It's okay.
I'll remember.
We can talk about Latte World. I really enjoyed Latte World. It was nice. It was
Lot
like a
World is
little
just-
little mini Disneyland. Like very, very mini, very mini. Like it doesn't compare, but like I remember going in, just seeing all of the bright faces of the children. It was very packed the day that we went, and I think there were some school trips happening too. But it was a good experience. It was a good experience. Like the mall type area, and then transitioning out to the actual amusement park. It was cool. It was cool. And then did they have a marching band play?
There were some
it was a
performers or
little
whatever the
short.
fuck.
A little short
Yeah.
marching band performance.
Yeah, that was cool. And it seemed like they were just all foreigners too.
Yeah, it was a nice little outing. Yeah. And I don't think, again, everything was cheap. Everything was cheap in South Korea, so we didn't break the
Even
bank.
like
trying to go to
amusement
Latte
park
World.
food is like exorbitant in fucking America, but like
But it wasn't that.
no, the food is good over there. I didn't get any merch.
There's nothing to buy, man.
God, what the fuck?
You can't remember the place.
I remember I went to an amusement park in Incheon,
Yeah.
Walmito Island.
There you go. That is the other one.
No, there was another one I went to.
Oh.
That was by Seoul.
Because I know Walmito was the one that I was pissed at.
Yeah,
'cause
I went there twice.
You bastard.
Yeah.
And I didn't go with you either time. You bastard.
Yeah, that was fun. Fuck, I don't remember the name of it. Damn.
Everything
It
slipping
bothers
through the
me that
cracks.
I don't remember the name
It's all right, man.
because it's such a. I'm not gonna pull out my phone.
There was one, if you don't remember the name, I will talk about one experience that I had. So I went to this place called Anyang. And so there was this art park in Anyang. Essentially, but the place that I got off on my bus ride there, it would open me up to this river, and I would just have to keep walking the town. It was like, if I remember correctly, it was like one-way street this way, and then it was broken up by the river, and then one-way street the other way. So to get to the art park, I'd have to go to like the book end of the one-way street, and you would see different art pieces scattered across that side, and it was just really nice. I have a couple pictures where it was like this like treehouse type structure where you would go in, and it would have like little play areas, mostly for children. Like if you're a full-fledged adult, like it's gonna be tight trying to get in there. But I remember just like being able to see it on the side, and then just actually being able to interact with the art was really nice. And yeah, I did again a lot of walking, a lot of climbing when I was in Anyang. If I recall correctly, I did my own mountain hike there in Anyang as well. I had went there like 3 times. I loved it so much because by the time we were on like the book end of the Incheon stuff, it was a good central place for us to like diverge and try to hit the different neighboring towns. Because we knew, at least I knew, like by the time we got to Seoul was so big, it had so much to offer. There was no way I was gonna be trying to visit neighboring cities. So when we were in Incheon, I had the chance to go to Suwon. I had the chance to go to Anyang, but I know I went to Anyang like 3 times. It was just a good place. It was a nice little place to be. I know I'm missing something. I'm missing something from that experience, but I remember Anyang very fondly. Oh, and I spent a little bit of time in the river. So essentially, the river was deep enough to where you would see the locals like actually use it as like almost a pool, and just like being able to see families with their children just sitting in the river. I spent some time just having my feet in the river as well. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't go to Anyang. I did.
Yeah,
go
you
to
should have. I'm like, I had mentioned Anyang multiple
no.
times.
I was just exploring places.
Yeah, that's fun.
I was just going off everywhere. My only regret is I never got to see the DMZ.
Oh, right. That was literally one of the things we had on the list, and we didn't do it.
I wanted to, but I'm also like, I could do something else.
Yeah, it's also kind of
It was kind of far.
It's far and far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were looking at the DMZ. Obviously, it wasn't gonna happen when we were in Busan, because that was like the farthest distance.
Yeah.
But even still, it was far from Incheon.
For those who
I would
don't
say
know,
poor planning. A little.
Busan. I mean, not Busan.
DMZ.
DMZ is the demilitarized zone, which is from North Korea and South Korea.
The border of North Korea and South Korea. Yeah.
And it's just a place where like they'll hold meetings and such. Because the country that's still at war. I mean, I think they have like a low peace treaty, but they're still not really friends with each other. Yeah. And it would have been nice to like just see it live.
Yeah, because you can see. Remember, you can still see the military people acting, still at work, actively at work. Yeah, so it's cool to just like literally get to see like, okay, how does that border work? What are they doing? What type of meetings?
And there'd be binoculars in South Korea where you could overlook and see across North Korea and shit.
Would you go to North Korea if they let you in?
Would
you go?
They do. There are trips that do take foreigners to North Korea, but again, those trips are very controlled,
of course,
and guided with where you go and how things are and shit. Obviously, trying to show you that North Korea is a great place.
North Korea,
but obviously it's not.
Yeah, it's probably literally the same thing for China. Or less for China. Well, because I know China's still fairly open, but like I don't think you're gonna have like a free roaming experience when you go into China. Because even still, people don't talk about like the lower economic areas of China. Like no one really talks about that, which means okay, you're probably not able to go there. Yeah.
I don't know. I would go to China though.
I would go to China. I know you still want to go to Japan.
I mean,
like,
Japan's
on your bucket list.
I literally could have gone to Japan during Korea because plane tickets were super cheap.
Well, I know we had looked at it. We had looked at the option.
But I was like, no, I'll just go to Japan whenever I go to Japan next time. But fuck, I did remember.
Oh fuck.
I do remember a plus. Fuck. God damn it. Why do I not remember it? I remembered it as I was talking to you, and now I forgot it.
Is it okay if I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know one of the places that I really enjoyed, it was like towards the end of the trip, we had went to Gyeongbokgung Palace.
Yes.
The giant palace. Again, an opportunity to free roam.
Seoul,
Yeah. Like really nice structures. Oh my gosh. The traditional structures like that's a really important
I was gonna mention
thing
that.
to mention the architecture. They hold on to so much of the traditional architecture.
It's still very modernized and westernized.
Well, because a lot of the stuff they had to whatever the fucking word is. They had to paint them again. They had to keep them up to tip-top shape. They do a lot of reconstruction on the older buildings that they want to keep in terms of like holding tradition and holding history. So the palace is one of those where it's like, it's literally just a giant palace. And then they do like, I mean, it's basically tours. They do tours. And then separate from the palace, but it happens a lot. You get to go rent the traditional clothing, the hanbok.
Yeah,
I did not remember the name. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
The hanbok. So we all ended up doing that. Me, you, Mar. We got traditional.
Except you guys went together and then I went alone.
Yeah, you bastard. Yeah.
It was cool because I met these 3 people from it was some European country, but they were like super chill and cool. Oh, Netherlands. Yeah. I met Yeah.
When you were in the palace?
Yeah, when I was palace.
Yo,
I met
this
these
popped
three
into
people
my
from
head.
the Netherlands, and they were super cool. They're like, they saw my camera, they're like, what you got there and everything. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
So talk to them a little.
Nice. You didn't walk with them? No pictures with them?
I did take a selfie with them.
Nice. Okay.
I should have got their like socials or whatever.
Instagram and such?
Yeah,
You missed out.
missed out.
Missed opportunity. No, I really enjoyed the palace itself, just being able to walk and just go into the building, see like the shape of the architecture, the shape size of the architecture. My goodness.
Oh,
Again, more really nice pictures.
the day I
taken
had
at
gone,
the time.
it was sunny, and then rain out of nowhere.
Oh, dude.
Massive,
yeah,
like,
you're never
torrential
gonna
downpour.
escape the rain. Never.
Yeah,
gonna
you can never
the
escape the rain.
We went to, what was another great outing? Seoul Tower was really good. Seoul Tower was fun.
Oh yeah, Seoul Tower
Yeah,
was
just
nice.
making it there. We made it to the top at night, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in the afternoon, and then you could see the transition from evening to night and see all the city lights like light up in the distance.
All
you're
the
looking-
lights in Seoul, man.
And then it was crazy because while we were at the peak of Seoul Tower, we see a mountain range, and we're like, "What the fuck is that? That's so massive!" And we did some research, and then I think a day or two afterwards, we had gone
We had taken the mountain.
to that mountain range,
Yeah.
and I forgot the name of it, but that was a fucking tough.
That was a tough
Climb.
That was the one. That was the one
That was
where
the
we
one
had the
where-
rocks on the
Where
side.
like
the
no,
last bit.
That was the one where it's just like there's no hiking trail anymore. There's a rope. You gotta fucking just
Yeah,
climb
exactly.
the way.
Yeah, we're fucking holding on.
Holding on.
Pulling onto the road, trying to get to the top. Yo, oh my God! Now
No
I was
safeties,
pissed,
no nothing.
though.
You're
I
just
was
up there.
fucking pissed when we made it to the top because there were fucking people. There were already people there, and they were taking their sweet time to take pictures. All I wanted to do was just like finish the hike and just be able to go to the peak and acknowledge all the landscape around us. But the
of course
motherfuckers
there's
were
other
just.
people.
But they didn't care that we made it. Like they were just taking their time, their sweet old time. And I'm just standing there like, what does piss me off?
Yeah.
It's pissed me off. Oh,
But we did meet a guy.
dude,
a
remember?
who was there?
I don't think this is the same. This is the same hike, but remember when I was like going and hopping on the rocks on the side?
was the same hike.
It was the same hike. So like a little bit lower
told you
than
not
the main
to,
peak. Of course, I was gonna
because
do it either
I was
way.
just like, if you fall, how
I
the
know
fuck
if
would
I fall, that's the end of it. I
Yeah.
know, but
No safeties or nothing.
we
You're
got
just
some
there.
great pictures though.
Yeah.
We got some great pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the type of person that just like I want to do things that are like a little bit dangerous. Like I want to push my boundaries just a bit. I had done a hike on my own where I pushed the boundaries a lot. I didn't. Obviously, you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
I'm still here, so I make decisions that are like kind of questionable, but like at the end of the day, I'm still making sure like I know my limits. I'm not gonna do more. I was never gonna do more than I could handle. Like, even though I was like hopping across those rocks, I was like I made sure by the time I stepped on the first rock, I was like, okay, is this stable enough to even accept me landing on it? And once I knew the answer was yes, I was like, okay, we're good, we're Gucci here.
Yeah, we went to that peak. That was a view though. Holy shit.
I know, yeah, because there was no obstruction. We made it to the top, and then you could get a 360
obstruction,
view. No obstruction.
And then you could just
of the
see
city.
Seoul, such a small city compared to high up.
Yeah.
And Seoul is fucking got
Seoul is big.
fucking towers, skyscrapers and shit. And it looked so tiny from that mountain. I was like, God damn, bro, we are high up.
dude. Those experiences make me want to go hiking again.
I want to hike like that again, where it's just like, yo.
You just keep going. You take 6 hours of your day, just fucking get to a giant peak and just experience what the world has to offer. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Oh, another plus about South Korea was safety. I never felt like I was in danger
You're right. Even when
of
we're
getting robbed
walking
or
and
like
such.
jumped or nothing. I never felt that way.
super controlled. The police were around. Yeah, the police were around, but they were never
Also,
really
like,
they were never really like
Literally everywhere is monitored by CCTV
Yeah, right.
cameras.
Yeah.
So like, you try some shit,
they're gonna be on you.
they're gonna be on you
They're gonna be on-
immediately.
No fucking no cap. No cap.
Yeah, safety was great because it was also culturally like Koreans are very respectful people, and like I don't know. They're not. They're not trying to cause any malice.
No, they're not. They're not trying to inhibit people. They're not trying to get in people's way. Like literally, they're trying to do their own thing and just make sure life doesn't suck. That's it. Korean, at least I won't say they are simple, but it seems like the lives of Korean people were meant to be kept as simple. They weren't trying to have to deal with extra stress. They're not trying to inconvenience anyone. It's just like, hey, let's work.
Life in Korea is already hard enough. You got fucking education. Obviously, school is very it's crazy
taxing, and they still have to do like other activities. I remember like all the kids, they're either doing like more education after school, or they're doing music lessons, or they're doing some type of sport. You did not see kids around like at all.
Well, also.
What?
Also,
you gonna say some shit?
Well, it is kind of some shit. Birth rates are declining over there because I guess it's kind of hard to fucking raise a kid when you're working all the time, and it's kind of it. Well, yeah, birth rates are declining over there. So you didn't see that, kids.
No, you didn't. Say. Well, there was a time where we were actually around the school. I forgot what town we were in, but then you could see the kids just like getting in and out of school.
I don't remember that.
You don't? I do. Maybe it was just when I was by myself.
Do you remember when I was in the amusement parks? I would probably that's probably the most amount of kids that you would see. Other than that, just kids out on the street, not really.
Yeah, I remember a time where I was just walking the streets and that there were kids interacting with me.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I guess you were there.
Yeah,
right.
I do remember.
Was it? Oh man, yeah. So many lost memories.
That was in I want to say Jeju. There was these elementary school kids that came up to us and approached us.
That I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that. And then I think they were putting on an accent or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah. And I think, were we with anyone? I know we were talking about, I know we had the conversation like, oh, is that kind of racist? But I'm just like, well, yes and no. If that's the only thing they know about America, then it's not really racist. It's just like, that's their only,
exposure.
That's their only exposure to it, rap and ghetto-ness.
Which is pretty prevalent. Like quote unquote black culture is pretty prevalent in Korea. However,
it's kind of mixed into the music now.
Yeah.
If you listen to any of the K-pop hits, especially like Blackpink, Blackpink, like you'll hear so much hip hop and R&B influence in the music.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like it's not bad, but it's like you really can't tell the difference. Obviously, the difference is like you hear the tone of the South Korean voice and the accent, but like they still speak English in the music. Yeah.
Going back, I guess. Yeah, Korea is very safe. I never felt like. Also, like you can just leave something like, let's say your laptop or phone. On a table, go use the bathroom, and it'll still be there. Yeah. America, that shit don't exist, bro.
Hell no.
Hell no. You gotta keep your shit with you at all times. Also, it was cool in Korea that we never got to drive a car, but like they drive on the same side as the U.S.
Oh yeah, versus Japan and China, who drive on the right.
Who drive on the right side? Yeah, we used to. They drive on the left side there, so like if we wanted to rent a car,
would have been easy.
It would have been pretty easy, to just get a car and just go out.
Because we walked everywhere.
We didn't. Annoying. Also, I feel like driving in some spots were kind of tough because there's littered with people and lanes are and some roads are like super narrow. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, like if we're thinking about Incheon, like the actual like party part of Incheon, there were still like cars driving through there. Like, obviously delivery vehicles, like they were fine, but there were cars actively driving through when only people are walking on the streets. And it's like there were no sidewalks. Everyone
There's no sidewalks, it's just a road,
freely. And then it's like, oh, every once in a while it's like, yo, car. And it's like everyone has to move over. Yeah, I would not be comfortable driving. I feel like people would look at me like, who the fuck is this black person trying to drive a car on our streets? I would feel very uncomfortable if we ever got to that situation. So thankfully we didn't.
But the American / black culture, it does exist heavily within Korea. However, there is like a xenophobic side where it's just like, you know, it kind of,
they're not actually gonna interact with us.
yeah.
It's kind of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit.
kind
They're
of
gonna
ironic.
they're gonna take our music. They're gonna take the
parts of culture.
Yeah, but they're not gonna actually interact with the people.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. Now that you mentioned, this is again aside, bringing it back to fashion. Remember, so many people wore white and black. Like there was the biggest difference.
Too.
Yeah, you're right.
I never saw someone wearing shorts.
The biggest difference between
everyone's wearing pants,
like
even
American.
if it's like 90 fucking degrees and humidity is like 100%. Like,
well, because definitely their clothing obviously is made for that weather. So thinner shirts, loose pants.
Yeah.
No one had an issue with that.
but still, if it's like hot as shit, I'm wearing shorts outside.
Well, I think part of it is like modesty.
Also, yeah, showing less skin. That's another thing about
No one's
Korea.
like really promiscuous. They don't talk about promiscuity in South Korea. They don't talk about like wearing clothes that are revealing.
Yeah. Very.
So yes, keeping it modest, covering yourself completely. Don't show. Yeah.
Even like no bikinis and shit at like
the beaches. Yeah. I know we felt there were a couple times where Mara was like, "Oh, I feel out of place wearing these," because she had like not booty shorts, but like she had shorts that would go to like her mid thigh.
Yeah.
And she is like, "Oh, I feel uncomfortable wearing this outside because people already are looking at me because I'm black." And now I'm like, okay. And then she's like, "Oh, now they're looking at me because I'm black and I'm wearing like improper clothing."
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. That culture shock was very interesting.
Seeing people more clothes, but again, I mean, wearing colors as well. Like a lot of, again, like you were saying, a lot of people just wear like black and white.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Whack.
yeah, I'm not about that.
We were literally, obviously, we're the most colorful. We were the most colorful people in the fucking college town when we were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting to stand out like that. I didn't hate it. I didn't feel persecuted.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, and then sadly, so Busan was great. I enjoyed my time in Busan. Incheon was even better. Those 4 weeks I was spending in Incheon.
I feel like Busan was just like
Busan was the
staying in a week.
Yeah, it was the introduction. To
It was not enough time.
yeah, you're right.
Not nearly enough time.
But I don't think, in hindsight, I guess it would have made more sense to spend more time in Busan, but I wouldn't change what we did on the trip. I like the 1-4-1, like really trying to establish like, hey, Incheon it is like a central point. We can go wherever the fuck we want or from here. And so those 4 weeks gave us that time to really branch out. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about ourselves in those 4 weeks too. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time in Incheon, and then Seoul again, like being 1 week, like it went by like that. I don't really have too many memories from Seoul. I know we spent a couple nights at the clubs in Seoul. Again, just really good experiences being at those clubs. I feel like we tried to go in some clubs and it was just like it just wasn't the vibe. That's it.
I don't remember that.
There was, I want to say there was one club that we had went into and then we had left, but it wasn't like, I just know we didn't stay. I'll tell you that.
Not immediately leave. I think
it
we
wasn't
spent
immediately.
some time.
No, it wasn't immediately.
There was one club I did go to where I left after like 10 minutes because I just didn't like the music. It was more EDM dance type shit, and I was like, that's not for me.
It wasn't your
for me. It was just like I was mostly hip hop clubs.
Yes.
that I would gravitate towards because they were always the ones that were popping. Also, music choice. I like hip hop, so it was cool. Also, nice bars too.
And Seoul.
Yeah, a lot of good bars.
Yeah, Seoul. By the time we got to Seoul, I'm gonna be dead ass. I was over the trip. I was just like,
I didn't want to leave, bro.
Well, it was both because we had spent so much time in Incheon and we had made really, really good friends.
Yeah.
We had made really good friends in Incheon. So it was like, okay, because of that, I didn't want to leave. But then having to go to a new city again, I'm just like, man, I don't wanna branch out. Like, I don't wanna figure out where I need to go. I don't wanna figure out where I need to eat. I'm just like,
well, Seoul, out of every city, Seoul is the most foreigner friendly.
You're right. You're right.
Because it's such a hub for like, you know,
business as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was easy. I mean, if you were a foreigner, it was like New York, but less dirty, safer, and It didn't smell like fucking piss.
You're right. Definitely a much cleaner version.
It was just a better New York, in my opinion. Because it was also like, you could feel like there was a melting pot. There was a lot of foreigners that was just roaming about.
Yeah, that's really all I have in my experience in South Korea. Would I do it again? Yes. I would definitely do it again. Would I recommend it to anyone? Yes. 10 out of 10. Definitely enjoyed my time in South Korea. Well, if you ask Mar, 10 out of 10, she enjoyed her time in South Korea. Mar, she ended up going on her own again. And she went for 2 weeks on her own. I feel like she's been to South Korea 3 times.
No, twice.
Just twice. Okay, so we did the full trip ourselves, and then she went alone. She, again, not again, but having the opportunity to visit Yumi, finding out that Yumi was pregnant that was a really nice, nice little surprise for all of us, and getting to see Becca, spend some time with him. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And definitely from that experience, like I'm willing, still like hesitant, but willing to continue to go overseas and experience different cultures. I know Japan is on my bucket list. Am I gonna go there anytime soon? Probably not, because I'm kind of just worried about getting a house, an apartment, like just different adult goals. But I know the last time I talked about traveling, I don't know if I told you, but I told Mar, like I might go to Iceland. Native language or whatever is English. American is English, so transitioning over there wouldn't be bad. But I'm really just looking for another opportunity to just be engrossed with nature and just like be a part of what the world has to offer, just in terms of nature, and get a chance to know more about different cultures, and then get to speak to different people and just compare and contrast experiences from living in the United States and then going into their culture. So yeah, those experiences there's more to come. Hopefully. Only 29, so like I got a whole lifetime ahead of me. I would like to keep traveling.
I miss Korean women.
You miss Korean women? I mean, man, I was talking about it like be a passport, bro. Bring
a passport,
bring them back. I was like, get to know someone so well and bring them back.
Yeah, I was.
All right, man.
I know I was trying.
You'll find you'll find your girl.
It was still enjoyable, even if nothing happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was. But no, I definitely miss the friends I made there.
The friends you made along the way.
The friends I made along the way. No, because like people are nicer than you might think in Korea. I'll say that. Like whenever I would go to clubs or bars, if they saw me, if people would see me having fun, they would also help and join in and shit. And I was always trying to get people like out their seats, jumping, dancing, whatnot, because I'm just like I'm a person. I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I want other people to have a good time too. Person. So yeah, I want to like try to encourage people to like get out there, show and shit. Because I mean, I didn't think I could fucking do what I did in Korea.
You came out of your show. You came out of your show, and then you ran with it the entire rest of the trip.
I'd say so.
It was a good setup for you.
I never went up to people in the streets and just talked to them, even though I low-key wanted to.
I mean, that's a little different. I mean, yeah, if you were trying to do a vlog, then yeah.
Not even a vlog, just like.
Well, I mean, I'm saying a vlog.
Start up conversation.
It'd just be easier. You would have a reason to go up to them, or you'd have a more. I guess it's valid either way. If you're trying to just have conversation, you would have an easier reason to be speaking to them. If you were just like, oh, hey, I'm trying to document my time, trying to understand how you experience South Korea, anything you want to share.
Yeah. There was also one guy. I mean, I might shout more people out, but this guy named I think his name is Hyuk.
Hyuk.
Yeah, I was in Bupyeong, which is it's a party city in Korea. Seemed like a lot of younger folks and whatnot in the area, and I guess I went there for like one day just to see what it's about, because I did some research and see, oh, it's a good place for like to go if you want to like have a good time and party or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, I tried. There were like, there's one bar I went to. Yeah, nah.
It wasn't the vibe.
It wasn't the vibe. It was like a jazz bar. They were playing like cool, nice jazz music and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like no one spoke English, and I got like one drink over there, and that shit was expensive as fuck for whatever reason, even though it was pretty supposed to be cheap, but whatever. Left. Then I was kind of finding my bearings, and then this one guy came out to me, and then he was like, he's a Korean dude. He owns a bar, and he was talking to me, and then I was asking what's things to do around here. He was like, well, I have a bar right here, and I was like, okay, I'll come.
Let's go.
So then he didn't really charge me for my drinks and shit.
Drinks on the house.
And we talked and everything. Talked about hanging out too. Never happened.
You had that situation with a lot of people. Not a lot of people. You had it with a couple people.
Yeah.
No, I won't even bring that up. The one girl that you were trying to speak to, or that you were trying to hang out with. Oh wait,
We can.
Oh, but there was that one girl. Whoa,
We can.
there was that one girl that you were trying to go to Latte World with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the first day I went to Cinder, I met this girl. We were having a good time with each other, dancing and whatnot. It was a really good time. Forgot her name.
I guess it wasn't that good of a time.
She was really pretty. I'll say that much. Like it was insane. Like how like there were other guys that were trying to talk to her, but she was just sitting there talking to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on right now?
Again, foreigner, Indian foreigner, like that's just interesting on its own.
But like, there were other guys that were all foreigners trying to hit on her, talk to her and stuff. But she was talking to me. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Kind of proud.
And she's like, out of everyone in the bar, by far the prettiest one that was there. And was talking to me. We was having a good time with each other and whatnot. And then we were talking about like hanging out outside of work. I mean, not outside of work. Outside the bar and whatnot. Never happened, sadly.
Sorry, man. People busy.
I feel like that's just a thing in Korea generally, like ghosting.
Oh God.
People just ghost you.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same thing with the United States too. People are afraid to say no. People are afraid to actually.
It's just like, damn, we have a good time and everything, and then I asked to hang out and do shit
like,
together, and just like
deuces.
it's like, all right, well, fuck it.
Hey man, it's easier to walk away than this people face to face.
Shit, I'd rather, again, I did talk about this in my Red Flags episode that like, yeah, like ghosting is such a bad quality in a person, in my opinion.
Not ghosting in today's world of technology, not ghosting requires a lot of emotional maturity.
I'll take the honesty over like ghosting any day.
People are not.
I know, people aren't honest
for that. It's not that they're not honest, they're not mature enough to tell people straight up how they feel. It's difficult, man.
I'll take it.
Difficult. But yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. I enjoyed our time.
Yeah. I guess there's so many other stories, but maybe we'll say that for another video. Yeah.
We can have a travel video.
Yeah. It was a very enjoyable time. I miss Korea a lot. I miss a lot of the friends I made. I miss a lot of the food, the culture.
Real talk, shout out to Yumi. We already said them. Shout out to Yumi. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to
Becca's
Aaron.
the GOAT.
I know we don't really talk anymore, but still shout out to Aaron. Like hopefully he was dealing with his own shit, personal shit. Hopefully he's worked through that. We were good friends.
Sorry, I want to shout out one more guy.
One more guy.
And it's a friend of ours. His name is Sota. So, do you remember?
Oh my God! The Japanese dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about the Jim Jilbong. Oh,
Okay.
shit. Wait,
Let's bring that up. We're not
gonna.
Fuck.
Okay.
Right.
Hey guys, we'll save this. Jim Jilbong. Just search up Jim Jilbong. Korean spa. Spend your entire day there. Jim Jilbong. It's a great time. You might look at it and be like, yo, what the fuck is this? Why? But the experience is amazing. Okay? Jim Jilbong.
All right, sorry. All right. I guess we do gotta wrap up because it's late and you gotta get home. So I'll say recommend Korea 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
Would go again.
Absolutely 10 out of 10.
But yeah, do you wanna shout out
my
anything?
socials.
I don't know.
Socials.
Do
Hey
you
guys,
wanna shout something out? Whatever you want.
Oh my goodness.
If there's something you've been working on, you want to showcase.
No, there's not. I will say, trying to get myself back into producing and writing songs again. So hopefully this summer I'll have at least one project. I'm not even like I'm not really a music writer like that anymore. I spent a lot of my time teaching marching bands, teaching in public schools. So just being in that creative mindset, it's not necessarily possible. Well, it's not that it's not possible. It's just a different mindset to be in that I can't really do when I'm teaching full time. So I've had inclinations to want to write music again. Trying to work with artists locally and just get stuff going. So hopefully this summer, I can put my foot back in and just create and explore where I'm at as a person and get that stuff out in lyrics and music. So hopefully that stuff is coming down the pike. If not, yeah, it's in my heart at least. I want to write more music. It's there. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, just look out for that. Socials, Aaron Alcine on Facebook. Looking at BZI on YouTube. If you want to follow BZI, I mean, you're not gonna find it on Instagram, but you can.
They'll all be on the description.
Yeah, BZI on Instagram. You'll we'll get there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And this is our last. This is our exit for Falling
Flat.
Flat. Bye, guys.